You clicked for the world's most dangerous martial art, and yes, this is Bājíquán, the same system known for bone-breaking, close-range destruction. Here's the problem. Most martial arts teach distance, control, and safety. Bājíquán does the opposite. It's built for one step beyond one impact, fight over. And that's exactly why some of its techniques are considered too violent to train casually. If you misunderstand even one move, you don't just lose, you cause serious damage. Now listen, this isn't surface-level content. I've broken down ancient manuals, real fight footage, and internal mechanics most people ignore. Not theory, actual application. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a specific entry technique hidden inside what masters call Step 4 that turns a simple shoulder strike into something devastating. Almost no one explains it correctly. So the question is, why is this move rarely shown, and what happens when it lands clean? Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more dangerous this gets. Technique 1. Da Qiang, the Great Spear Foundation. The mechanical DNA of Bājíquán is not found in boxing, but in the Da Qiang, the 10-foot battlefield spear. In ancient warfare, piercing heavy armor required more than arm strength. It required total body integration. In Bājíquán, every punch is a literal translation of a spear thrust. Unlike a boxer who rotates the hips, a Bājí practitioner launches linearly. The lead hand acts as the spearhead, while the rear hand and trailing leg act as the driver, pushing force forward in a straight, piercing line. This creates long-distance power at close range. By training with a heavy wooden spear, you develop Cùn Jìn, coiling power. The strike must spiral to penetrate. When you remove the weapon, the body retains this structural memory, transforming the arm into a clinical instrument of penetration that doesn't just hit a target, it drives through it with the weight of a charging spearman. Technique 2. Zhen Jiao, the power stomp. Zhen Jiao is the mechanical engine of Bājíquán's shock power. It is a clinical application of Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Instead of relying on arm muscles, you violently drive your lead heel into the ground at the exact millisecond of impact. This creates ground reaction force, sending a kinetic shock wave from the earth, up through the rigid pillar of your leg, and directly into the strike. The secret is absolute synchronization. The foot hitting the floor and the fist reaching the target must happen simultaneously to create a structural spike. This prevents energy from leaking back into your own body, ensuring the full momentum of your body weight is delivered into the opponent. Beyond power, the stomp roots you instantly, making you an immovable object during the collision. In Bājí, you don't just step toward an opponent, you stamp into their space, claiming the ground and shattering their balance before the hand even connects. BA Technique 3. Liu Dakai, the 6 big openings. The Liu Dakai is the tactical battering ram of Bājíquán. In most martial arts, you jab to find a gap. In Bājíquán, you use these 6 mechanics to force one. The 6 big openings are designed to violently strip away an opponent's guard using the shoulders, elbows, and forearms as heavy wedges. This is the philosophy of hard opening, hard entering, ignoring the opponent's blocks by simply overpowering and collapsing them. The mechanics rely on cross-body tension. As one hand hooks or pulls the opponent's arm out of alignment, the other hand or shoulder smashes forward. This creates a shearing force that dismantles the opponent's gate, or defensive shell from the inside out. You aren't just hitting a target. You are deconstructing their structure to leave the center line, the throat, heart, and solar plexus completely exposed for a terminal finishing blow. It is the ultimate method of turning a defensive encounter into a violent one-way entry. Technique 4. Cùn Jìn, 1-inch power. Cùn Jìn is the mechanical short circuit that allows Bājíquán to be lethal at ranges where most martial arts are neutralized. While a standard punch needs distance to accelerate, Bājí generates a massive spike of kinetic energy over just 1 to 3 inches. This is achieved through a total body spasm of contraction and expansion. At the moment of contact, the ankles, knees, hips, and spine all snap into alignment simultaneously. This creates a shock wave that doesn't just hit the surface. Because the movement is so short and fast, the energy penetrates deep into the internal organs. This is often called cold power because it is sudden and shivering. By twisting the vertebrae in a micro-spiral like a towel being wrung out and suddenly released, the practitioner discharges stored elastic energy. This allows you to generate the force of a sledgehammer while standing chest to chest, turning every inch of the body into a potential point of lethal discharge. Technique 5. Sanji, the three extremities. In Bājíquán, the arms and legs are merely delivery systems. The true weapons are the Sanji, or the three extremities. This technique focuses on the three major joints of the torso: the elbows, shoulders, and hips. In a real struggle, fights often collapse into phone booth range where you can't swing a punch or lift a leg. This is where Bājíquán utilizes the shortest, densest bones in the human body. The mechanical secret is total body unitization. Because these strike points are closer to your center of mass, they carry significantly more weight than a fist. When you strike with the shoulder, cow, you aren't just hitting with a joint. You are hitting with your entire body weight accelerated by a ground stomp. The practitioner becomes a solid ball of muscle and bone. If an opponent tries to grab or grapple you, they are met with a vibrating strike from whatever joint is closest, turning your entire torso into a 360-degree weapon. Technique 6. Bandajo, the 8 major attacks. The bandajo represents the ultimate tactical finishers of the Bājíquán system. These aren't just moves, they are high lethality sequences designed to end a life-threatening encounter immediately. Unlike foundational forms, these focus purely on anatomical destruction, targeting forbidden zones like the base of the skull, the windpipe, and the carotid sinus. The mechanical core is hard opening, hard entering. You don't wait for a reaction. You execute a violent crash into the opponent's space. Each move utilizes a hooking and crashing motion. One hand pulls the opponent's guard or head into the path of a counterstrike, while the other delivers a high-velocity elbow or palm. This creates a shearing force that amplifies impact. Historically, these were secrets because they are designed for maximum damage with zero room for mercy, turning the practitioner into a precision instrument of terminal force. Technique 7. Hung Ha, the explosive breath. Hung Ha is the pneumatic power system of Bājíquán. It isn't a decorative shout. It is a clinical method of intra-abdominal pressure regulation. By producing these specific guttural sounds, the practitioner forces the diaphragm to contract violently at the exact microsecond of impact. This deadlocks the core, transforming the soft torso into a rigid, pressurized cylinder. This ensures 100% of the kinetic energy from the legs is transferred through the body and into the strike without leaking through a soft midsection. This explosive breathing also acts as a structural shield. By pressurizing the internal cavity, you protect your own organs and spine from the massive recoil force generated by your own strikes. Without Hung Ha, a true Bājí strike would be as damaging to your joints as it is to the target. In combat, Hang is for gathering and internalizing power, while Ha is for the shattering release. It is the literal ignition in the Bājí engine, turning physical movement into a high-pressure discharge of terminal force. Technique 8. Xiongbu Hu Bei, Bear Step and Tiger Waist. This technique is the essential biomechanical marriage of stability and torsion. In Bājíquán, power is defined by two animal archetypes, the bear and the tiger. The bear step, Xiongbu, is the development of a low, weighted, and incredibly stable center of gravity. You sink your weight into your bones, ensuring your mass is never floating. This creates the downwards power, Cùn Jìn, necessary to remain unmovable. Without the bare, thick, and anchored legs, your own explosive power would simply push you backward instead of destroying the target. The tiger waist, Hu Bei, is the counterpoint, the extreme rotational whip of the spine and lumbar region. In Bājíquán, power isn't generated in the shoulders, it is ground in the waist. By coiling the torso like a tiger and suddenly snapping it forward, you release a spiral force, Cùn Jìn. When the bear, stability, and the tiger, when the rotation synchronize, the result is a strike that feels like a heavy falling object spinning at high velocity. This specific combination allows a stylist to shatter an opponent's internal structure rather than just pushing them away. Technique 9. Mumbu Dingzhou, the cannon elbow. The Mumbu Dingzhou is the signature finishing strike of Bājíquán, often cited as the most powerful elbow technique in all of Chinese martial arts. It is not a swinging elbow, it is a linear, horizontal spike. The practitioner sinks into a deep horse stance, Ma Bu, to lower their center of gravity, and at the exact moment of the strike, they drive the lead elbow forward as if they were thrusting a spear. Mechanically, this technique utilizes symmetrical power, Zheng Li. As the striking elbow drives forward, the opposite hand pulls back sharply toward the hip. This creates a tug-of-war tension in the torso that snaps the spine into alignment, doubling the speed of the impact. The strike is aimed specifically at the opponent's gate, the center of the chest or the ribs, with the intent to collapse the thoracic cavity. Because the elbow is backed by the full structural weight of the Mabu stance, this technique is designed to bypass muscle and deliver a shockwave directly to the internal organs. Technique 10. Enjin, hidden or dark power. Enjin represents the final mechanical evolution of Bājíquán, where explosive force becomes invisible to the naked eye. In the developmental stages, movements are large and stomps are thunderous. In the hidden power stage, the external movement is minimized to a micro shiver, but the internal shock remains just as devastating. This is achieved through refined muscular pulsing. Instead of a long wind-up, the practitioner uses a high-frequency vibration of the tendons and deep core muscles to launch a strike from zero distance. The mechanical secret of Enjin is shattering the kinetic chain. Traditional strikes move visibly from the foot to the hip to the fist. In Bājíquán's hidden power, the practitioner preloads the tension in their body so that every joint is already spring-loaded. When the strike is released, the energy doesn't travel. It manifests at the point of contact instantaneously. This allows a master to deliver a finishing blow while being grappled or pinned. It is the transition from physical hitting to vibrational transmission, where the goal is no longer to move the opponent's body, but to shatter their internal structural integrity from the inside out. Bājíquán is the ultimate science of structural collapse. It transforms the human body